Welcome to Smile Face, where magic, mystery, and timeless tales come to life. From ancient legends to thrilling adventures, we spin stories that ignite your imagination. Don't just listen, get lost in the tale. Hit subscribe and ring the hot bell so you never miss a story. Now sit back, relax, and let the journey begin. Asif and Sarabi began to put forward all the possible scenarios for the absence of friends, and in the end, they concluded that the wise man and Ikleel had an acceptable excuse for absence because of the long distance of the Forbidden Mountain range. But the disappearance of Al-Shamali was the disturbing thing for them, especially after the village was filled with spies. So Sarabi suggested the following. Why don't we check the last location Al-Shamali went to? You mean the village's cemeteries? Yes, perhaps we will find a thread there that leads us to him. Asif turned towards Rosanna and asked, "Can you take us there?" "I cannot, as I do not have orders to do so. I will go to check it myself then," he said, then turned to address Sarabi. "Stay here under the care of Rosanna until I go and return, and do not leave this place no matter what happens. Do you understand?" "I will come with you," she said, ignoring his words. "Did you not hear Rosanna saying that the village is not safe? And that is what makes me insist on accompanying you," she said stubbornly. "I am not prepared to expose your life to the—" He did not finish that sentence because Sarabi ignored his words and headed towards the door. She turned the handle then. She turned to him and said, "Are you coming, or should I go look for him alone?" The she-devil was right in her predictions, as the village of Al-Jassasa was teeming with many spies who combed the roads back and forth for inspection. Sarabi felt the danger and said, nervously, "About a storm. They are filling the village roads. Don't tell me you're scared. Don't I have the right to be afraid? You don't have the right, and I am with you." She felt ashamed of that talk and said to change the subject. "Let's continue walking." The two of them continued walking towards the cemetery, sneaking very cautiously through the rough paths of the village so as not to be discovered, guided by the moonlight in sight. Then, as they were walking, they encountered 3 spies in their path, and their discovery was almost made. But fortunately, there was a wooden stable near them, so Asif was able to quickly enter it and pull Sarabi with him before anyone noticed. As soon as they were inside, Asif had his eyes sent towards those spies through the small cracks in the wood of the stable wall, and when he was sure that they hadn't noticed him, or so he thought at first, he turned to Sarabi to reassure her, and he saw in front of him 2 donkeys looking at him with love and saying to him at the same moment as if they were repeating a song, "You have grown up, you human jackass, and you have become a stallion donkey." Asif embraced them in a strong embrace that indicated his joy at meeting them, then informed them that he had come to search for his friend, and as soon as Samari knew the reason for his coming, he told him that he and his wife had seen last night people on the backs of their horses stopping a young man and taking him with them by force. "Do you know the name of that young man?" "I don't know. They were speaking to him in the human language." "What did he look like?" "I don't remember, as humans are all similar in appearance, and I can't distinguish one from another. And you, if it wasn't for your stinking smell that is still clinging to you, I wouldn't have known you, nor would my wife." "He was a little tall," Kamriya said, trying to remember. "He was wearing wide white clothes, with a sword hanging on his back, and he seemed very brave as he fought them alone, even though they were more numerous than him." "Did he fight them alone?" "And they beat him and took him with them." He was shocked when he heard that news and turned to Sarabi to translate for her what the donkeys had said. But Sarabi was busy with something else as she was watching the 3 spies through the small cracks in the wooden wall of the stable and seemed worried and nervous. "What's wrong?" "One of the spies is staring at us," she replied nervously. Asif pressed his ear against the wall of the stable, listening to what was happening outside, and he was able to listen to one of those 3 spies saying to his other 2 friends, "I swear to you that I saw something enter that stable." "Are you sure?" "We haven't seen anything," the other 2 said. "I will check the matter myself," said the spy as he walked towards the stable. Kamriya whispered, talking to Asif, "Hide you and this male who is with you before the spy sees you." "This is not a male, Kamriya, it's a female, and how would I know when she's wearing all these fabrics over her body?" "This talk is not important," Samari interrupted them. "Come with us, we will hide you." "No," Asif whispered. "These are the ones who took Al-Shamali, and I must know from them where they took him." Then he looked at Sarabi and said, "Go with them. They will help you hide." The spy entered the wooden stable, and a long time had passed since he had been inside without any result, which aroused the suspicions of his other colleagues, who called him more than once, but he did not answer them, so they decided to go to check on him. As the 2 spies entered, the faint moonlight sneaking through the wooden cracks of the stable's wall allowed them to see in front of them a tall and huge creature resembling a mythical monster, one of whose eyes glowed with a a dark red color. Each of them tried to escape, but death was faster as that monster killed one of them and kept the other. "Please, don't kill me," the spy said, pleading. "I won't if you answer me." "I will answer you, sir, about anything. Where did you take Al-Shamali? And you won't kill me after I tell you? I promise you safety." The spy swallowed his saliva in fear, and he said, "The president asked for him, so we took him for him." Asif grabbed his collar and shouted in his face. And then, "Believe me, that's all I know. Is he alive or dead? You promised me safety, sir, and I will not break my promise. Answer me. Is he alive or dead?" The spy said, "Nabu Alfil killed him." Asif shook him violently until he almost killed him. "Damn you, what are you saying? That's what happened, and I have no fault." She approached Sarabi. "Leave him, Asif. You gave him a promise of safety. He now has a third vendetta he will fight the whole world for." Al-Shamali had not been known for a long time, but some friendships do not need a long life until they bear fruit. He wanted to kill the spy, but in the end, he let him go in fulfillment of the promise he had made to him. But he would discover in a little while that he had made a grave mistake when he allowed him to go. The spy knew through Sarabi, when she called Asif by his name ago, that that young man was the same person who had been looking for a while. The spy ran with all his speed through the village roads, heading towards the giant, the commander of the spy squad. After they knew what had happened to the northerner, the two of them sneaked back towards the house where the she-devil Rosanna was waiting for their return. At first, Asif didn't feel anything, but doubt began to creep into Sarabi's heart after she noticed the sudden disappearance of the spies from the roads and the ease with which they were walking in the village paths. She whispered, "Don't you notice something strange?" "What?" "The roads are almost empty. And did you want them to be full of spies?" "No, but I'm afraid that there might be something behind this sudden disappearance." "Don't worry," he whispered, reassuring her. "We're almost at the house." The two turned right and then walked through a narrow, dusty alley that ended with the entrance to the neighborhood where the house was located. But they had barely passed it a few steps when a team of spies surrounded the place from all directions and ordered them to remain still. The giant, Murakib, approached them, observing them and saying, "I didn't know that your prey would be this easy." Asif said, hiding Sarabi behind his back, "Who are you, and what do you want?" "My name is Murakib, and I want you to come with us." He scanned the place with his eyes, searching for an exit through which he and Sarabi could escape. But too many spies surrounded the place and did not give him a chance, even a small one, to think about escaping. "Don't tire yourself," Murakib said. "You won't be able to no matter how hard you try." He began to think about a confrontation, but he soon kicked that idea away from his head, not only because the spy team was more than him, and not because he realized the impossibility of defeating them alone, but because Sarabi would be the first to be exposed to danger if he decided to engage in battle. "I will come with you," he said, surrendering. "But this girl has nothing to do with you. Those who do not have a chance to resist do not set conditions. I am the one you are looking for. This girl has nothing to do with it." "I will come with you," Sarabi said. "Shut up, you." Asif silenced her, but she insisted. "When will you understand that we are all in the same boat? I am not going to spend a pleasant time there. To hell with you. What does it have to do with you to face death with me? Do you think death is a game?" Because, she hesitated a little and then said, "Because I care about you, and I don't want you to be in danger because I love you." Murakib commented sarcastically, "You're in love, and your appearance is pathetic." "Who told you that love makes a person's appearance pathetic?"